Hey guys, Brandon Olson here. Another episode of RankDaddy TV. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite closes, the SEO process close, I like to call it. So this is kind of like when they've asked questions, maybe they want to know what you're going to do, what it entails, why you think it's going to work. You obviously don't want to use this on the first contact with people, but it works really good once you've had a communication with them and they're kind of on the fence. Maybe they want more information. It works insanely well. It's like you're giving them all of the information. You're telling them how you're going to do it, like each step of the SEO process, but they're not able to act on it because you're kind of leaving out certain parts. So here we go.
So here's the question. How can marketers like us, working only part-time and running our entire business from our laptop or smartphone, how are we able to guarantee insane results to our clients when the mainstream internet marketing gurus say the guarantees are impossible? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Brandon Olson, and welcome to RankDaddy.
All right, so the absolute only reason Google ranks a website high is because of trust. If it doesn't trust your site, it's not going to rank high. A site that Google trusts loads fast. It's focused on the end user's experience. The content is there for them, and it ranks based on the content and the signals that are inside. So there's other signals too, off-page signals that Google sees and attributes to the ranking and the trust factors, and so we're going to get into that. The entire focus, though, of the SEO campaign is to deliver trust. So it kind of starts off and we continue to build on that trust. The first thing we do when we start an SEO process is we run a press release. This press release is an article that our writers write about your business. It is distributed then to 500 TV, radio, different media type websites. All of these sites have been vetted. They've already got a massive degree of trust with Google. So Google sees this when it happens. The article gets posted. Each one of them has a link back to your site. Google sees all of this. It creates an incredible foundation for the SEO process. Now, keep in mind, this isn't your average press release, right? This press release is designed for SEO. It's designed to bring trust to your site and begin the signals to move you up. So while that's happening, we have another section of team that is working on your directory listings, so citations. Citations literally just your business's name, address, and phone number listed somewhere on the web, like in a directory. White pages, yellow pages, it could be Yelp or Facebook or Google+. There's a lot of different spots that are directories that hold your business's information, listings for people. So many times, those are incorrect. You may be at 123 South Street, and you spell it out STREET, but some of your listings is abbreviated. That's a no-no. So we got to manually log in to 350 of these and fix the inaccuracies, or if you're not listed, we'll put you on there. So that when we're all said and done, it takes about 2 or 3 weeks for our team to do this. It's all manual. It takes some time, but the results or the ROI on this is insane. The trust that comes from having your business listed across 350 platforms is ridiculous. Okay, so that kind of adds to the trust. Now, when that press release comes back, takes about 2 weeks, then we compound the results that's got and kind of turn it into a viral campaign. We have hundreds of Facebook, Pinterest, other social accounts that we add social signals to. The social signal is a like, a comment, a share, a tweet from somebody else's account that is sharing information that points back to your account, your website, not your social profiles, but your website. So some people think social shares have to do with your own business's social properties. It doesn't. Google doesn't care because you can talk about your business all day on your social profiles and say, hey, go to my site, go to my site. Anybody can do that. But when you've got hundreds or thousands of other social sites pointing back to your website in the form of comments and posts and likes and tweets and shares and pins, that's heavy. So once the press release is done, takes about 2 weeks, we start this campaign of social shares, 2,300 of them, all with signals going back to your website, compounding the trust factor that is coming from the press release, the citations, and building. It's all about trust. The same time, week 1, we start a daily link building campaign. Usually this is around day 3 to 5 of when we start. We want to start this in the beginning because Google loves to see daily links coming into your site. Consistency, right? So we build these little microsites. They've got little snippets about your business or articles, and all of them obviously with a link back to your site. All of this creates not only link consistency, but link diversity. Another thing Google loves. You can't have home runs, so to speak, on every single link. Like every link you get to your site can't be from a great website. So some of these platforms are websites, microsites that we build. They're called Web 2.0 sites. So they're things like Tumblr and little of the free WordPress sites and things like that. So some of them will have a little bit of trust. Some will have no trust. Some will have a do follow link, which is telling Google, yes, send signals to them. Some of them have a no follow link, but Google still sees them. So it's diverse, right? Everything's not super powerful. Everything's not super great. Overall, they probably don't have much power. You couldn't do much ranking if that's all you did. So the next thing we do, and this is the expensive but effective part, because this whole process really isn't hard to do. It's just expensive. And this is what I mean. So far we've got press release, right? Citations and directory listings. We've got your social signals, and we've got daily links coming in. The next thing we do is get you links from sites that already have a massive degree of power and authority from Google. So imagine if you were to get a link from the homepage of YouTube. You could literally rank for whatever you wanted to because that site has so much trust and so much authority. Google owns it. Obviously, you can't do that. So we do the next best thing. We do what we can within our control to kind of mimic this. We will go out and buy domains that already have a crap load of Google's trust. I don't tell you where or how we buy these, but they're expensive. Some of them we've paid $200 to $800 just for a domain name because of the amount of trust that it has. And it doesn't take very many of these links to propel your sites up the rankings, just like that YouTube example. You don't need that massive link because you're here on a local basis. Most likely don't need a huge amount of power like a YouTube link. You're not going to get that anyway. So imagine a scenario. Here's how these domains come about. Say there's a landscaping company, right? He's got a website and a company. He spends time on it. He maybe has some links put in, or backlinking done. Maybe he's got a blog. He's got content. He adds pictures. He gives the site loves. Over the course of a decade, that thing begins to get a lot of trust, mainly from the age. And then one day, maybe he retires. He just closes his business altogether, and that domain goes back to the auction block. Or maybe he forgets to renew his domain. That happens. Goes back to the auction block. Or maybe he changes his business name. Now he needs a new domain, that matches his new business name. So many scenarios, but the fact is that there's so many of these that go back to the auction block, and we're able to buy them with the sole purpose of building a website on it and creating one link back to our client site, back to your site. We don't use that for multiple clients because every link going out of a website dilutes the power of that one website that's sending the links. So we use that to send links straight to your site only. So you get all the power, all the trust. So it's an expensive process, but when we make one of these links back to your site, to Google, it's like you just got 1,000 links all at once. So that's kind of how that works. We own several hundred of these already. So we can pretty much rank on demand. We get a client, we start the campaign process, and by month 2, we've got trust building. Then we start plugging these in. These are the sites that really rocket your site up and hold the ranking there. Now, based on competitive and niche and things like that, obviously criminal lawyer and dentists and plastic surgeons and things like that, they're going to take more of these links. It's going to take lots more trust to get ranked in niches like that. It's a money link. It's a money niche. Industries like that have a lot of money to throw at SEO. So The rankings come a little slower sometimes, especially you're in a bigger city, San Antonio, Austin, Dallas. When you're millions of population, that too makes it a little more slow to get to the top. If you're in a smaller city, 250,000 or less, the rankings are insanely fast. It doesn't matter what size city you're in. Once we start, you see rankings increases within 30 days. Your first month, we'll pull a report in the beginning. You'll see where you're ranking right now for your keywords. A month checkpoint. We pull another one. You see where you're at. Excuse me. Whew, sorry about that. Had a little coughing spell there. So like I was saying, in the beginning of the campaign, right, we're going to run our keyword report with all your main keywords, show you where you're ranked, and then in 30 days, we'll have another checkpoint, show you where you're ranked again. You'll start to see lots of green arrows, keywords on their way up. By the end of 60 days, even more keywords. Now, expect a little bit of a dip at some point around maybe month 3. Google Dance, totally expected. We had a dentist that we got to page 1, and then a couple of his main keywords dropped to like page 3 for 3 weeks. And that's kind of the longest I've ever seen. Told him it was expected, just wait. Sure enough, all of them came up. They're all stuck in top 3 positions now, and that's the way it works. Google has to shuffle you around, kind of figure out where they want you. Now, we have a money-back guarantee that says this: if you don't see a massive increase in rank in the first 60 days, we give you all your money back. We've never had to give anybody their money back. The process works. We know what we're doing. There's no contract. Give us a try. Watch what we can do, and you'll see within 30 days you're going to get ranking results. And by month 2, you're already getting more calls than you were before. More customers start coming in and start really seeing an ROI for the process, the campaign that we got going. So that's it, guys. That is the SEO process close, okay? There will be a link in the YouTube description. So if you're listening on Spotify or SoundCloud or iTunes or something, come over to the YouTube section. In the description, there'll be a link with a transcript of this. You can tweak it, modify it, use it for yourself. There's also an audio file that you can actually send to prospects and say something like, hey, my partner made this audio clip because we get this question all the time. Kind of will explain to you exactly what's going to happen, what we do, and how we do it, and why it works. That's it. Appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time. RankDaddy TV.